Well, now concerning that situation in Japan, I'm now joined live from Vermont by Arnold Gundersen. He's an energy advisor at Fairwinds Associates, a corporation specializing in environmental, nuclear safety and energy issues. Mr. Gundersen, thanks so much for joining us live here on RT. Now, we're reporting at the moment that there are suggestions that a partial nuclear meltdown is now underway. Can you explain to us, what does that mean exactly?
What it means is that the nuclear fuel has become brittle, and that's evident because of the hydrogen explosions that have occurred. That process makes nuclear fuel brittle, and the pieces of nuclear fuel inside are about as big as my pinky, that joint on my pinky. They have all fallen into the bottom of the nuclear reactor. There are thousands and thousands of those pieces. In the center of those pieces is molten uranium. This is not a nuclear chain reaction. This is not a nuclear bomb. This is the radiation left over after the chain reaction has started. This will go on for several months, and the heat's got to be removed.
Okay.
And if you can't...
Okay, sorry to interrupt, but you say this is not a nuclear bomb, but would not the effects be the same as a nuclear bomb if obviously it does reach meltdown and there is an explosion?
The chemicals that are going to be released are similar. Actually, the chemicals released from radioactive chemicals released from a nuclear bomb disappear quicker than the radiation that is released in a nuclear power plant. The fission spectrum in a nuclear power plant has longer-lived radiation than the fission spectrum in a bomb.
But are we looking at an apocalypse? I read online reports on websites looking at international newspapers. That word is used many times. Exaggeration, or is that true?
Well, my term is this is Chernobyl on steroids. This will be worse than Chernobyl. Exactly how much worse, I don't know, but it's pretty clear to me that that it will be worse than Chernobyl.
You say will be. Do you think it's definitely going to happen, or do you think crisis could be averted?
No, I don't think crisis can be averted. The radiation exposures are so high on site that I don't think human beings can get into the areas that need to be accessed in order to put the fires out, and also to get water into the locations where the heat is the highest.
Worse than Chernobyl, you say. So what will be the effects, not just for those people in the vicinity, who we understand are being evacuated in just a 12-mile radius, but what about Tokyo, where radiation levels are at 10 times above the norms at the moment, and beyond Tokyo, the atmosphere, the sea, the Asiatic region?
Well, I think if there's any lucky thing that's happened so far, it's the wind has mainly been blowing out to sea. If the wind turns to the south, I expect you will see radiation in Tokyo. I don't believe it'll be enough to evacuate Tokyo, but I think it would be prudent to take precautions and try to stay out of the plume. The Asiatic region. They're already beginning to reroute airlines because they're afraid of the radiation landing on the airplane, and a plane from Tokyo to Moscow, for instance, will fly through that plume. So it will definitely begin to affect Asiatic travel pretty much immediately.
I appreciate you're an energy advisor. You're a specialist in environmental, nuclear safety and energy issues. But your message, some people may say, is scaremongering. Can we be absolutely sure this is going to happen? Because it's a very different message that the people in Japan are getting from the government. Or do you think the government are not telling them the truth?
I don't think the government is lying. I do think the government is not telling them everything it knows. I studied Chernobyl, and I was an expert witness on 3 Mile Island. And the government is always behind the 8 ball on these things. They are deliberately trying to downplay the amount of radiation being released. We saw it in the Gulf of Mexico, too, with the oil spill. They underestimated the amount of oil. That seems to be the way bureaucracies work.
Let me just quickly ask you about the International Atomic Agency. It's just reacting now to the crisis, promising to send a team to Japan. Many people will criticize it for not acting fast enough. Those criticisms justified, do you think?
Oh, absolutely. The International Atomic Energy Commission estimated 5% of the core had failed. In fact, 70% had failed. So these guys have come in with lowball estimates for quite a few days now.
Could it have done anything, though, the IAEA? Could it have physically helped before now?
I don't think there's anything an expert can do to physically help at this point. I think these reactors are on runaway.
Arnold Gundersen, very interesting to hear what you have to say. We appreciate your time. Energy advisor at Fairwinds Associates, corporation specializing, as I say, in environmental, nuclear safety and energy issues, joining us live in Vermont. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.